Hi, this is Kathie back, and thanks for joining me at Craft with Kathie. Have you ever had a decorating dilemma? Have you ever been faced with an area that you weren't quite sure what to do with, and it just kind of bothered you? I'm OCD enough that there's been an area in my parents' house that has bothered me actually since I was a child, as ridiculous as that may sound. They do not have a curbside mailbox. They have a mailbox that actually has, I don't know quite how to describe it, has an opening in their Virginia brick on the outside of their home, and the mail is get put through the slot by the mail person. Actually, it's kind of funny. Our new mail person didn't know where to put the mail for the first 2 days. So there's this brass or copper flap or cover to the mailbox, and the mailman opens it up and flips in the, excuse me while I'm cleaning my plate, paste, puts in the mail. And then on the inside of the house, there is a metal cover that covers the mailbox. And right now it's painted gray, the same color as the wall, but it's this in this little area of the wall between basically where their draperies are and the door frame for the front door. So there's not a whole lot of space there, but it always has looked a little blah to me. So what I'd like to talk a little bit about is, what do you do when you have a decorating dilemma? How do you solve it? And I think sometimes you just have to think a little bit outside the box. And actually, that's what I did with this. And I think this is gonna work out really good for their area. They need something to brighten it up, to give it a little bit of life, but there's not really enough width of wall to put actually a picture there. So here we go. The Odette to the rescue. This board is about 6 inches wide, or 6 inches wide chalk-wise, and 18 inches long. And the interesting thing, my interesting idea with this was, if I put magnets on the back of the board, I could actually attach it to that mailbox flap, so it will be sitting right along, covering up the flap, so no one actually sees that the mailbox flap is behind it. And at the same time, it could be adding a little bit of life or a little bit of pizzazz to that area of the wall. This is the Countdown to Santa transfer from Couture, and I think this is going to go perfectly on that Odette board. These are our little white chalkable chips. I've actually chalked a few of them already. They're double-sided, and just like our chalkboards, they're reusable. A little spritz of water and paper towel will clean them right up, and you could reuse them and put something on if you will. I did a couple of days getting ready for the countdown to Christmas, and on the back of the 15th, I actually glued a magnet. And I have a magnet on the back of the board, so I could change my days by just putting my little chalkable chip on it. Anyway, so much for that. Let's get started with this. This transfer has quite a few different pieces with it. This is the main center ornament. And then there's the phrase, Santa stops here. Days until Christmas, which I'm going to be using, a whole series of numbers, and then some lines and a star. Ooh, and the word Mary, of course. So let me clean this up and get what I don't need out of the way a little bit. So I think this idea is going to solve the problem, and when the Christmas is over, then I could erase this board, reuse the chalkboard, and maybe put something a little bit, well, it's too early for spring, but maybe put a favorite saying or a phrase or something like good vibes only or whatever on it. But I think what it'll do is it'll liven up the space, give it a little pop of color, if you will, and hide that mailbox cover. this is a brand new transfer, and I want to fuzz it before using it. So I have my fuzzing cloth here. And I think the colors that I want to use, I'm a sucker for the shimmer paste. So I'm going to use the red shimmer paste for the bow, a little bit of gold shimmer paste for what would be the hardware of the ornament and the little hook, and then silver shimmer paste for the ornament itself. And then my chalkable chips have got, will have the numbers in them in the red shimmer, and I think the wording at the bottom, some more red shimmer. Can't have too much red for Christmas now, can ya? As I've already glued a magnet to the back of this, I want to make sure that I'm going to lay this down where I've glued that magnet. Oops, wrong way. To make sure that the magnet is behind the open area in my ornament. It should be right behind here. And yes, it is. Okay. So I'm going to gently press down my transfer, making sure there are no air bubbles. I actually look like I do have a bit of an air bubble there. And here a little bit. Just lay that down nice and flat. And I see it here too. Sometimes I find it hard to work with nails. Oops. I just stuck that to itself. Okay. Okay, I've got a little wrinkle there, but that's okay. It's not going to impact it. And my bow has a little bit of an ear bubble again. Here we go. Okay. And I've pre-stirred my chalk paste. I'm going to start with the gold because it's the smallest area and I just want to get that done and get it out of the way. If I make a mistake, no big deal. Just go back in with a little bit of water and a paper towel, erase it and redo it. I should have really used a mini chalk chip here. I mean, yeah, mini squeegee. A cut up mini squeegee. And actually, let's see. I've gotten a little gold into where the ribbon goes. And let's just wipe that off. I usually have little cotton swabs and I didn't bring them out here. Let's see. No, I really don't want to do that. Let me get that little bit of chalk paste off of the transfer. There we go. That looks fine. I'm going to let that dry before I actually chalk that then. Okay. So I guess I'll do the silver next. I see a little air bubble there that I might have to fix a little bit. I'm going to lay down the paste and then come back and clean up any excess. Taking any excess and returning it to the jar. A little bit of chalk paste goes a long way. This is my red shimmer paste. I love the shimmer paste. They had just the right amount of sparkle. They're not actually like glitter. They do not flake off. They just add a little sparkle and shimmer to your project. And our chalk pastes come in our our shimmer pastes come in our red shimmer, gold, silver, and copper. Need a little bit more paste there. I hope I'm not off camera here. Okay, I'm going to remove this transfer. I have a feeling I might need to do a little bit of fixing up where I've got that little air bubble. If so, no big deal. I could come back afterwards and clean up, and yes, I do have to clean that up. I'm going to put this in a water bath of cool water to remove the chalk from it. It's a little bit longer for my water bath, but I can get it to fit in there. And I'll come back and clean this up with like a little Q-tip type thing after it dries. I see here I've got a little bit of paste on the edge. Let's get rid of that. And now I'm going to add the other words. Move this out of the way. And I want to add days till Santa, or days till Christmas. Sorry. The fuzzing towel actually puts lint deliberately on the back of the transfers. Our transfers are vinyl and silk screen. The clear areas are the silk screen, and they have an adhesive back. And the idea behind fuzzing is we want to deliberately put lint on the back so that it doesn't stick quite as strongly, especially if you're doing chalking on glass or metal or a mirror. You want to make sure you fuzz it quite a lot because those type of surfaces, the adhesive sticks very strongly. And then when we clean up our transfers, I'll wash the chalk paste off with water and then actually clean up the transfers with a Clorox wipe and clean the back of it to remove any lint so that it rejuvenates the adhesive, and I can reuse it. Our transfers are generally good for 8 to 12 applications with proper care, sometimes even more. I've heard tell of quite a few uses that some people have been able to get out of them. This actually fits perfectly for the size of this board. I want to smooth it down, no ear bubbles, that all feels good. And I'm going to come back over here with the red shimmer paste as soon as I find my squeegee for the red. Here it is. Bad habit. So my advice for your decorating dilemma is think outside the box. Consider something that you wouldn't ordinarily consider. I would have never really thought, I've given up on putting any decorative type of artwork or anything over the area or any photographs because nothing basically would fit. There wouldn't be enough margin of white space around it to look right. But with the nice narrow Odette board, that provided me a lovely solution to this decor dilemma that has existed for so long. And the very idea that I don't have to put any nails in the wall, that I could attach it to that mailbox flap with magnets, and that I can reuse this board and change the design or the wording or the phrasing to correspond to the seasons of the year. How cool is that? Ah, these fingernails. As you can see, our chalk paste goes on liquid and dries to a hard surface, but is easily removable with a spritz of water and a paper towel. I would not clean this with anything other than like a feather duster or just a little dry dusting. Clean that up. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm going to come back with a Q-tip and clean up my little mistakes over there, but just to give you an idea of what this is going to look like is, oops, hopefully that dried. I haven't checked this over to see if it's dried. There's my little magnetic chalk chip. 15 days till Christmas. What do you think? Once I put this up on the wall, I'm going to take a picture and post it on my VIP group so you can see the finished product and how it's solved this decorating dilemma. Are you a member of my VIP group? If you're not, you're missing half the fun. Please comment VIP below or private message me with the letters VIP, and I will send you a link to my VIP group. In the group, there's specials, bundles, there's going to be some giveaways, and lots more videos for your viewing enjoyment. Thank you so very much for watching. I surely do appreciate it. Have a great Christmas and a wonderful life.